This morning, I want to challenge everyone in this room to seriously consider what I'm going to share. That human trafficking is real, that it is a much more pervasive crime than we realize, that it is a complicated crime with a lot of nuance which demands an informed response. And despite all of this, there is actually a lot that you personally can do to stop it. Our best estimates suggest that there are some 21 million women, men, and children living as the economic property of others in the world. And here in the state of Ohio, research estimates that there are thousands of men and women who are the victims of commercial sexual exploitation, pimped out by organized crime, independent traffickers, and tragically, sometimes by their own families and intimate partners. Just a few months ago, we learned the heartbreaking story of the woman in Ashland who was living in conditions of forced labor and involuntary servitude at the hands of 4 traffickers, men and women, who threatened the victim and her young daughter with intimidation by pit bulls and snakes kept in the house. Human trafficking is happening right here in our own state, in our truck stops, in our schools, in our hotels, in our migrant labor camps, in our prisons, and in our own neighborhoods. But just as anyone can be a victim of trafficking, anyone can be a trafficker. As my law enforcement colleagues often caution, traffickers simply do not fit a typical profile, and we need to caution against profiling any particular gender, race, or ethnicity. The best explanation I've heard of why sex trafficking abuse happens in the United States was explained to me very succinctly by a smart, no-nonsense woman who runs a shelter for homeless and runaway youth here in Northwest Ohio. She said, "Frankly, trafficking is frankly a symptom of our broken family structures and broken systems right here in the United States." Right now, Ohio is in the process of taking great strides forward in our efforts to combat trafficking. Frankly, we just do not have enough data to state that either sex or labor trafficking happens more often than the other in Ohio. But what we do know is that both are occurring, and as we continue to raise awareness and improve our system's response, we will see more reported cases and ensure that more victims have access to the basic freedoms to which we are all entitled. I have real hope, because even though we live in a world where others seek to profit from the unjust exploitation of others, I moved back to Ohio just 10 months ago from Washington, D.C., and it took all of 10 minutes to feel the palpable momentum of the anti-trafficking movement here in our state. Truly, in nearly every corner of the state, there is a movement springing up, a group of community activists and modern-day abolitionists who are joining in the fight to end modern-day slavery. It would be incredible if 5 and 10 years from now, we were able to stand back and say, we learned what worked and we did it, and because we did not ease up our efforts when the media spotlight went away, thousands of girls, boys, men, and women have the access to the basic human right of